Alright, you guys, so it's very early in the morning. It's not even 7 a.m. I want to say I was in bed before midnight. I can't remember. Anyways, I went to bed with this on my mind. I woke up with this on my mind. And then also, I just wanted to share this. One, well, the first part of this I already know people aren't gonna like, but it's again, it's my opinion, but it also was like, man, this is such a crazy thing that exists right now. So there is this video I came across on TikTok, and this guy was like, it's crazy that the political stance a lot of women, the political hill that makes so many women vote in a certain direction is the ability to kill their children, aka abortion. Like, he was like, it's wild because he was like, this is already like such a morally questionable thing, but this is like what makes certain people upset, um, is a political point that will set people off, is telling women they can't kill their babies anymore. Does that not sound so insane to you? Like, people, the politics that make someone, lose their minds. Is this more like the right to kill your own child? It's crazy how we've normalized something that, in my opinion, again, clearly so evil. And then I was talking about, is abortion ever medically necessary? Because that's like this idea that you have to harm a child, intentionally kill or intentionally end the life of a child in order to save a woman's life, is a false scenario that doesn't exist. I feel like the reality is that you don't have to intentionally harm the child. Do you sometimes have to remove the pregnancy from the woman's body? Yes, but it doesn't require intentionally harming or killing the child. And that's what every abortion is doing. But then it's just like, if you're intentionally delivering a baby preterm so that they don't have a chance to live, it's like, no matter how you look at it, I feel like unless it's a truly just miscarriage, it's like every abortion is intentionally causing harm to another person. The person in question, a baby in the womb. They're equally alive as every other person on the planet, though. That's why I'm like, I don't understand this like idea that how people separate the life of a human being from their time in the womb, because you're literally alive from the moment you're conceived. Like, I couldn't exist. I existed the moment I was conceived. I couldn't exist right now if I wasn't alive the full 9 months in my mother's womb. And those 9 months in my mother's womb are equally parts of my life as of my human existence as a person. Like, how do you separate like a human's existence from the 9 months they spent developing their vital organs, functions, finger fingers, toes, like every aspect of you as a person could only exist if you first existed in your mother's womb. I don't understand why people separate that, and how, like I said, there's so much just, ugh. Anyways, I thought that was like a really good point that this person made. Like, why is that the hill so many people are willing to die on? Like, if I can't kill my own babies, if I can't kill my own child in the womb, I'm not free. Like, what the heck? How did it get to this point? I feel like, yeah, there's some political issues that maybe you could, like, have stances on, but that being, like, the main point, of like why you vote a certain way or don't is kind of wild. And I guess it really just points to a larger like morality shift in the sense of why is this the main point that will make or break someone's political stance. So anyways, I just wanted to say that very quickly. Also, oh my gosh, so I deleted and then re-downloaded a dating app. It's hard for me to take those dating apps seriously, mostly because I don't really like it's dating apps are overwhelming for me. Also, this is such a bad angle to film at. Oh, I'm tired. I don't know why I'm up this early, but I'm up. So, probably because I went to bed before 2 a.m. finally. I feel like I've been going to bed like around 1 a.m. and then getting up at like 8:30. So, we could make it to the 9 a.m. service today. Anywho, the dating apps. Let me tell y'all about that. So, literally wasn't using dating apps for the longest time, and then I actually deleted them all, and I feel like it's like I get on there and I'll get like some messages, but it's I don't know why. It's just like anytime I have to message someone on a dating app, there's no one that I really like. Let's just start there. It's like I can match with very attractive people and that look a certain way, but it's like I I don't have oh how do I say this in like a decent way? I don't really like I don't like anyone. Like it's so crazy because it feels like I'm trying to force myself to like someone when I use dating apps and I get on there and I'll be like, oh, this is like, I don't know. It's just like I don't really see anything happening with using dating apps. It's so overwhelming. There's way too many people. I feel like conversations are so dry and boring, and it's just I really just feel like it's hard for me to connect with people over an app, especially if people don't have great communication skills. Like everyone's not great at texting, whatever. So I just feel like the current way a lot of dating apps are set up, it's like it's way too much. It's like I can't really connect or talk with 10 people at the same time and have like a good actual decent connection. It's too challenging. So anyways, I don't know. It's just like I get on there thinking like, "Oh, I don't know. Every time I do this, I'm just like I end up deleting them." But anyways, that wasn't what I really wanted to say. So, there was this profile of this man that basically was like, "I'm only looking for friends with benefits, blah blah blah." And so I was just thinking to myself, like, men who are literally solely looking for friends with benefits, don't want the commitment, are pretty much just looking for free prostitution. And I really just was thinking to myself, like, why would women want to do that with a man? Like, you want to sleep with a man who, for the quote unquote, the only benefit is the sex, and then You're not even getting any, there's no promise of commitment. There's no commitment out of it. And then you're like, you're risking all of this. Like, think about this for a second. Just really think about this. Women put themselves on birth control so that they can sleep with men without getting pregnancy. And then if they get pregnant and they don't want the child, they're going to abort the child. And then they're also going to risk pregnancy just to sleep with the man who doesn't want to commit to them. Does that not sound so wild to you? Like, you're literally altering your natural hormonal levels to put yourself on a birth control, to put yourself on birth control, right? Because birth control is altering the normal hormone levels in your body. I don't know if people know how it works. I mean, there's different ones that work different ways, but like the pill is essentially tricking your body into thinking you're perpetually pregnant so that you won't get pregnant again. Which is why pregnancy on birth control is rare, but there are people who have issues where their body will allow them to get pregnant. Anyways, it's just more so like you're doing all of these quote unquote precautions, taking birth control, and then you also, like I said earlier in the beginning, women are fighting for their right to abortion, aka their right to kill their own children, just so they can sleep with men without the consequence of a child, and then risking STDs. I'm like, why? What is this benefiting? How is this benefiting women in any sense of the word? World, like, how, what benefit does this have for a woman in a real sense? Like, is sex that important? Sex with a man who doesn't want, has no, wants no real intimacy, doesn't want to be committed to you, doesn't want a relationship with you, benefits women how? Benefits you how? And you don't even want the child from it, right? I don't understand. I don't understand why women participate in that. Like, the to me, like, the cost outweigh the benefit. The benefit of having sex with someone that doesn't actually like you enough to have a relationship with you. Like, what's the gain? What do you gain from that? You can say you slept with that man. That's why I don't understand one night stands. I don't understand hookup culture. Like, all of these things to me just seem so detrimental to, like, your mental health, your body, the risk that you're incurring to do this. It's just like, it doesn't make sense that there are people who participate in those things, and this is really not me judging. It's just like, I don't understand what the benefit is. How does that add to your life? How is that helping you? And I'm like, if your ultimate goal is truly to have, like, find like the best partner for yourself, and you want to have marriage, and I guess in the truest sense of the world, it's like there's just women who don't care and they don't see sex as being something special. They don't want marriage, they don't want kids. So they really don't care about the cost of risking STDs or getting abortions or um, being on birth control for, you know, the rest of their lives, because it's just like they don't care about they don't care. I guess it's either, it's like, maybe not say they don't care, but I feel like that's the only thing, like, that's the only thing that, like, can rationalize it to me. But, like, why don't you care? Why do you think being a man's essentially free prostitute is great for you as a woman. So honestly, ever since I saw that free prostitution video, and I'm telling y'all, it was not someone who was like, I don't think this girl was she wasn't a Christian. She wasn't coming at it from like a religious way. It was really just her like, it was like she didn't realize what she was saying, how profound what she was saying was. It's like I can't undo it. Anytime I see a man that's like friends with benefits, I feel like you just want a free prostitute. I was also heavily thinking about this a little bit on my way back home, how like I feel like sex work enables men. Sex workers enable men's lustful desires that create men like this who treat women like sexual objects, who expect prostitution from women, basically. They expect free prostitution from women. They expect women to share their bodies with them for no actual benefit other than this quote unquote sex. No intimacy, no commitment. There's no love in that type of relationship either. I don't know. It's all lust. And I feel like lust is not. Lust is basically just like I'm using your body for my own gain, my own benefit, and care less what happens to that person. It's just like a sick kind of thing. That's like immediately unattractive. I don't know. And to me, like, really, ultimately, I feel like it just is like further proof of how little a lot of men actually respect women and respect women's bodies. You don't respect someone's body if you're using that person's body for your own benefit. Just saying. I also don't know, like, I mean, I think the idea that, like, hooking up and doing all this, it's perpetuated throughout, like, the media that most people are consuming, watching any TV show, like, it's like this is these messages, what the things that we normalize as a society have been subliminally normalized to us for years on years on years before we normalize them in our society. Like, people don't realize, like, the media that you're consuming every day, TVs, movies, magazines, the news, all of these things that talk about all of the things I'm mentioning. Like, they're subliminally conditioning you to normalize what you're seeing, what you're watching, what you're hearing, so that you don't question the norms that we've created as a society at this point in time. Because it wasn't normal like 60, well, yeah, maybe 60 plus years ago, 65 plus years ago. Hookup culture wasn't normal, prostitution wasn't normal, abortion wasn't normal. It's just like we've literally, in just 65 years, we've 180'd some of the morals that existed just 65 years ago. Now, my grandma's older than 65, right? So there's people alive now who remember a time different from right now. It's so crazy, though, to me. Anyways, like I said, the reason we think these things are normal is because you've been conditioned from all the media. How many people are sleeping around on TV? How many people, it's casual sex a thing on TV? How much do we see one night stands, hookups, sleeping around, friends with benefits portrayed on TV? There's literally been 2 movies about just being friends with benefits. You have no strings attached, and literally the movie Friends with Benefits. You don't think those movies shaped how some of y'all view those things? Because in the movie, oh, they just end up being really compatible and working out together, right? But in reality, that's not how it actually works. 9 times out of 10, that's not how it works. Now I'm sure there's somebody who has a story that we were friends with benefits, and then it blossomed, and now we're married and happily married. I'm sure there's people who can say like that's their story of how they met. That's the rare. That's not the rule. That's the exception. The exception to the rule. And I also do have friends. I mean, I don't want to tell people's business, but let's just say I know people in real life who did it and it ended very badly. And it does most of the time. Anyway, I just wanted to share those thoughts. I don't know why. They just like, I don't know, things that I think about things from like, I don't know, just like a more grand perspective. It's like, yes, everyone has individual lives that every not it's like every person's experience is going to be different. It's just like the overall big picture moral dilemma that some like supporting certain things implicates is what I think about, is how I think about things. Like, what does this mean for our overall society? Maybe I'm thinking too much. Maybe I'm over whatever. That's just how my brain likes to think about things. Every movie that I watch too, I'm thinking like, what is the larger, like, what is the purpose? What is the meaning? What is the message behind this movie? What is this movie trying to tell me? Because per honestly believe like there's messages in a lot of movies. And actually I need to do a movie review of this movie I watched over the weekend. I'll probably do it later because this video is already kind of long. But it's just like there's so much hidden messages in like the media that we're consuming. I shouldn't even say hidden, but there's a message in all of the media that you're consuming. And what people don't realize is the media, the more they put put a certain narrative or a certain scenario or a certain in front of you, they're conditioning you to normalize that thing. That's all I'm saying. Media is a tool used to shape and mold people's ideas, what we normalize as a society, and I shouldn't say just how you think, but in a sense, yes. Like, oh my gosh, it's just like everything is always so much more deeper than what people realize it is. And maybe I don't think I read too much into things either. I feel like I just see things in a way that's just like all of these things that we've normalized, in my opinion, are counterintuitive to productive, healthy relationships, yet they're being pushed anyways. So, why are these things being pushed? Because someone doesn't want productive, healthy relationships, is all I'm saying. Pushing people to sleep around, pushing people to, I don't know. That's what we want to normalize. We want to normalize the behaviors that are being normalized are not conducive to healthy relationships basically. So why are they being pushed? Why is that what we want to normalize? Normalize not being married. Normalize friends with benefits. Normalize sleeping around. Normalize hookups. Normalize one night stands. That's what's is mostly. And I'm saying this like in the sense of like these are the relationships we see most portrayed in the media. How many TV shows have y'all seen that promote um that promote waiting till marriage, or that promote a man courting a woman before? I mean, there's some good romance whatever movies, whatever, but even in most of the romance movies, most people don't have like a moral sense that, waiting till marriage is something that is an important to a healthy relationship. Like, there, that's not portrayed ever in the media. And if it is, it's probably like a 20th century. I would say even Bridgerton, where that probably was the thing, that was not what that show portrayed at all, right? Like, I don't know. Even when time periods where that is normalized, it was almost, it's almost mocked in the sense. It's mocked. People mock people who wait till marriage, or they make fun of, or it's just like, like the things that people want to shame you for also can tell you something about, someone's ideals. Like, people shame people who, for their, again, it's just like, overall, ultimately, this is not like, I don't think that everyone's a product of their environment at the end of the day. What I'm saying is like, the things that most people participate in, I don't know if it's most people. Let's be real. I don't know if it's actually most people, but the things that I can say I feel like are normalized in the media, why I think deeper to like, why is that what we are normalizing or conditioning people to see as normal? Because in reality, those things don't really benefit people to participate in. But because we've normalized it, because we've conditioned ourselves that this is what most people are doing, people don't bat an eye. But I'm like, I when you think about it, this girl literally said it's free prostitution. And now anytime I think about a man who is just looking for a woman to hook up with, I'm like, you just want a free prostitute. You just want a free prostitute. I'm so sorry, y'all. I feel like that like rewired my brain to just like, dang. I mean, I wasn't participating in that regardless, but it was just like, man, that girl made such a good point and I can't like unsee it. And she wasn't even like a Christian saying this. Now, obviously, as a Christian, the Bible says you should wait till marriage. Well, the Bible says sex is for the purpose of marriage, but as a Christian, you're also supposed to wait till marriage, right? Like, God says like this certain thing is for when you're married. Anyways, obviously not everyone believes the Bible. Not everyone. I mean, there's Christians who believe the Bible and don't practice it, so it's just like, it is not, it's normal still for people to not do that even if they are Christians. But it's just like, again, hearing that person say like, it is basically prostituting yourself for free, I can't unsee that as what that really is, as like the reality of sleeping around with men you're not married to, for, and there's no benefit to you, like no actual benefit. I would say the prostitutes at least are getting money from it. Not that that's a good thing, because I don't like support prostitution as like a practice, because obviously I feel like it's detrimental to someone's body, someone's self-worth, and someone's um psyche to sell their bodies to lustful men's desires. I don't think you can healthily do that. And I feel like, I don't know, your body is a temple, also, according to the Bible. Obviously, I don't support prostitution. Not because I hate prostitutes, it's just like, prostitution is not good for anybody. Anyways, yeah, I just think it's like, I don't know. Who is the only person I would say you could say on the surface level men benefit from it, but I don't think men actually benefit from friends with benefit. I feel like both people are hurt because they're they're losing a truly intimate moment by partaking in a lustful practice that lacks intimacy. And I feel like that's why people are relationships are not as strong anymore. I don't know. We're losing like real intimacy because people are just intimacy and commitment is what the purpose of marriage is. So it's like those things are ruined the more people participate in behavior that lacks intimacy and commitment. Like, I don't know. I don't know. There's more I could say, but for now, that's all I'm going to share. I really just, like I said, I always like to think about like the moral implications certain things have on society at large, but also it's just like the message of teaching and telling people that certain things are what they should participate in when those things are not actually benefiting either party. I do think, though, I see a lot more people choosing celibacy, which celibacy versus abstinence is a video I will have to make because those things are not the same. Celibacy is like a moral vow to never have sex. Abstinence is basically not doing something for a predetermined amount of time. So those are two different things. I see a lot of people though. I mean, yeah, I just have to make another video about those. Anyways, that's my thoughts, y'all. Let me know y'all's thoughts in the comments. Like again, I'm not here to judge anyone's life actions or choices. It's more so just like, man, I can't unsee I can't unsee the truth behind what that girl said. She said it with her whole chest too, and I was like, dang. But I'm also happy that people are waking up to like the fact that we so many women have been told for years, you know, like, oh, it's not a big deal, casual sex, hookup culture, all of these things, this is normal, this is what's okay. A lot of women are waking up to the notion that these things are actually benefiting them and realizing like the act like these things are not helping us, they're not helping us, they're not helping society, and the there's no real benefits to them. And that is what makes me happy overall, is that some people are waking up to those lies. So yeah.